How's it going, guys? This is Najam. Welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to review the UPerfect 3K portable OLED monitor. I've been using this for quite a while now. Now this is a really cheap OLED monitor compared to a lot of the other offerings like normal OLED monitors. They cost a minimum of £500, and this one is £200, which is amazing because you do get 1440p resolution. Actually it's 3K, and it runs at 120 Hz in the native resolution. So if you run a really tight budget and you really want OLED gaming, this is a really good option. I've been using it for gaming for quite a while now, and I'm just really impressed with it. Now if you look at the design of this monitor, you can see that it has a 95% screen to body ratio, which is very nice. It has very slim bezels. The bezels on the bottom are a bit big. This is running in the 16:10 aspect ratio, so you will see the full use of the display. You can see the bottom bezel is a little bit bigger. Now the price for this is £200, like I mentioned earlier. And let's go ahead and just take a look around the design of this monitor. So this is it. As you can see, it's a very slim monitor. You can see it's exceptionally slim. It's actually 0.14 inches, which is very slim. It's a bit thicker on the bottom, but that's okay. Now on the back over here, you do have the waist mount. So it does come with the screws as well. So if you do want to use the waist mount, that is an option. You do have the speakers, so it's got stereo speakers, which I'll talk about later on as well. Now if you look at the back of the monitor over here, you'll see the indications on the I/O as well as the display inputs and outputs on the back as well. You can see they're there. Now unfortunately this is not on the side or anything. I mean, I suppose it doesn't have enough space to put these on the side, so they can't do that, but it can get a bit annoying when you're using these to navigate through the menus, which one is up, which one is down, which one is back. So you're gonna have to get used to this if you go through the menus quite often, but after you've adjusted the settings, you don't need to worry about that. The build quality of this monitor is also very good. It's made out of metal, and this does feel very premium, and it's a very high quality material, so build quality is very nice. It is a very slim monitor, being an OLED monitor, so you will expect that. So the panel is not going to bend or anything. It's very solid. Okay, so let's go over the specifications of this display. So this is an OLED display with a resolution of 2880 by 1800. At the native resolution, it runs at 120 Hz. It has an aspect ratio of 16:10. It's 16 inches, and it does go up to 500 nits. It has 180 degrees view angles, which is typical of the OLED monitors, and this does have 100% of the DCI-P3 color gamut, which is very nice. It's also an 8-bit display, but I think they're using like FCR or something technology to get the smoothness in there. And also this is, in case you haven't noticed, a glossy display. You can probably see a little bit of reflections, and so being an OLED and a glossy display, this is a very good combination. Also, because it's OLED, the response times are almost instant. You do get a very clear, a very quick image. So if you're playing videos that are really low frame rate, or if you're playing at a really low frame rate in gaming and everything, you will kind of need to get used to it, because OLED makes those things very apparent. Because of the response time, you will see it feeling very jittery. So it does run at 120 Hz. If you can push that, you will get a very smooth experience. Now this is a portable monitor, so you can actually just plug this in with one USB and it will work with some of the devices, and I will talk about this later on. Now as far as the different resolutions and the frame rates go, I'll just put up the pictures here. The Type-C does have the full resolution at 120 Hz. If you use HDMI like I'm using over here, you will get 99 Hz or 100 Hz at the native resolution, and you can use lower resolutions as well. So it does have 1440p and 1080p options. So if you do use consoles, they will work really well with this as well. Now one thing I do want to mention, if you do use lower resolutions, my recommendation is going into the settings, turning the sharpness to maximum. Every other resolution that you use with this, that's not the native resolution of this monitor display, it will look very sharp, and it will look really good. So you don't have to worry about it looking blurry or anything. With the sharpness at 4, it will look very nice.
Spider-Man, I think I figured out how Fisk's men are keeping his rackets running. Construction sites.
Wasn't that shut down when he was arrested?
No, it's one of his legitimate businesses. Multiple investors. We can't act without cause.
But now you've got that, right?
That's why I'm hoping you can keep an eye on the locations. Tell me if you see anything suspicious.
Follow that gun! Past me!
The speakers on this thing may sound a little bit tinny, but they definitely sound very good, and you can use them for an enjoyable experience. I did use these for watching movies, and they're pretty nice. Also, just touching on that, if you do watch movies on this, make sure you get Ultra HD quality, because 3K resolution, even 1080p or even Quad HD doesn't really look the best. The native resolution of this display, you might want to just use Ultra HD movies or videos to play back. They will look much better with the full aspect ratio as well. Okay, let's go over the options. I'm just going to show you the options. So you do have the brightness control, the contrast, as well as the sharpness, which you should turn to 4. You have the input over here. You have the eco modes. I've got it on standard, and you have DCR. And let's go to the next one. You have the aspect ratio. Now this is just going to scale the aspect ratio of the video that's coming in. We'll just leave that at auto, and you do have some adjustment in the color in the image. Let's go down. You can change the color temperature. It does have the blue light, so it makes everything go warmer. You can change the on-screen display transparency as well, and the positioning. You do have the HDR mode and low power mode. I don't recommend using any of them because they suck. And also you do have mute from the speakers, and also the volume adjustment. You can press the down button to change the brightness, which is very much quicker. Also you can press the up button to change the volume, and if you have the mute off, you'll be able to hear the speakers if the audio is coming through to the monitor. If you press the OK button, you can change the input. You can change the input by pressing the OK button to go through the Type-C ins and also the HDMI. So it's very simple. It's just like the Arzopa monitor that I looked at previously. Okay, let's talk about what I like about this monitor and what I dislike about it. I like the picture quality and basically everything else. I can't really find anything to complain about. It's just a very good monitor. As far as the things I dislike about this monitor, well, there are actually quite a few. And I didn't expect this, but let's just go over them. So first off, you can't use it at full brightness over the Type-C port because it does come with a 30-watt power supply, and from my experience it does need the full power from the wall adapter, because one USB port, one Type-C USB port just didn't provide enough power. Now you can probably use this at lower brightnesses, but it did turn off when something very bright appeared on the display. So that's a bit of a letdown. The other thing is HDR is not really the best on this, but I think we already know that. And also you can't use this with a phone. From my experience, I know that smartphones, because they just don't have enough power output for a monitor like this. The other slight drawback I have is that because it's a Type-C cable for power, I would like a slightly longer cable. Now also, if you look closely at the OLED pixels, if you do use the full resolution of this monitor, you can see on the bottom and the right side some brightness or a bright line, and that is the I believe that is something to do with the layout of the pixels. It does look like the right edge and the bottom edge is just a bit brighter on the pixel level, so just a bit of nitpick over there. Also, another thing I do have to mention, and I didn't expect this, if you use two Type-C inputs, one for power and one for the video out, it does mess about with the power. So it won't take the power from the power wall adapter, it's going to take the power from the video signal. That's why I've got this HDMI plugged in, because it reduces the confusion this monitor has from the power source. And so even though I had both of them plugged in, Type-C for the power, as well as Type-C for the signal in, as well as the power. It just didn't use one of them, so it didn't use the wall adapter. It would take the power from the laptop, and it just turned off when something got really bright. But yeah, that is a bit of a letdown as well. But all in all, other than that, can't really complain about it. It's a very nice display. So it's very cheap, and you can get an OLED gaming experience with this. And the gaming experience has been exceptional. It is really quite something. So if you do have any questions about this monitor, do ask me in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in another video.